So, as I'm from the United Kingdom, I have explored the data for access and completion rates of education in the UK. The area I found some of the most interesting disparities was regarding wealth. For example, in both pre-primary attendance and higher education, the people in the middle wealth bracket appeared to be the most deprived group. So this is the 2014 data, and 51% of people in the middle wealth bracket attended pre-primary education, whilst 48% attended higher education. You can see that these are the lowest rates in both categories. I believe this could be because in both of these areas, in particular, there's been a heavy focus on increasing opportunity for the poorest and previously most disadvantaged groups. For example, in pre-primary education, initiatives such as Head Start in England and Flying Start in Wales were used to increase awareness amongst parents from those groups about the importance of pre-primary education. So this could be why now those in the poorest groups are overtaking. I think it could be a similar case for higher education, as again there have been lots of initiatives put in place to increase attendance of higher education amongst those from the poorest backgrounds, and this has come in the form of lots of student loans and bursaries. Again, it appears that whilst the richest are possibly able to access both of these without extra support, the poorest are gaining access due to the initiatives put in place, and maybe the middle group have been missed out and that they seem to be suffering as a consequence. Another interesting factor to look at with regards to the completion rates of education was comparing 2005 to 2014. So when I click on this, we'll see that in most cases the disparities seem to have grown. If we look here, and in general attendance has dropped. So in 2005 almost 100% of all wealth groups, so richest, middle, poor, poorest, were attending pre-primary education. As of 2014 that's dropped quite significantly. Similarly, lower secondary completion rates were 100%, and upper secondary completion rates were similarly high. As you see, 2014 numbers seem to have dropped. Now, the one area where there has been an all-round increase is in higher education. So in 2005, you see that only 65% of the poorest were attending, whilst all these categories have jumped up, and now 71% of the poorest. Again, interestingly, even in 2005, the middle group were suffering the most, along with the rich here, in terms of higher education attendance. Now, I believe that the disparities between 2005 and these high attendance levels and 2014 and the general drop, apart from in higher education, could be due to the availability of alternative provisions. Now, one area that I think this could be quite true is in tertiary completion rate. The average since 2005 has dropped from average of about 48% completion rate down to 45%. And the percentage of people from the poorest and richest backgrounds completing tertiary education has increased. However, for those from poor backgrounds, it has actually decreased since 2005. Again, I think this may be because of the increasing availability of alternative provisions, including apprenticeships and MVQs. I think the most significant thing that I've taken from looking at the disparities in wealth from 2005 to 2014 is actually the general drop in attendance. This isn't what I expected. I actually thought it would be completely the opposite way round. Now, I'm not 100% sure why this is, but my only idea is that it's possibly due to all the alternative provisions that are now available. I'd be interested to know what other people think.